Cousins, today's video is jam-packed. We got lots of stuff going on. First off, we're going to give you an update on this latest gigantic haul that we got. Have we sold anything yet? How much did we sell it for? Well, we're going to tell you straight away. Then we're going to get into the other things that we're pulling out, sorting, and listing right now. We're going to talk about a little bit of jewelry, some other things, and hopefully we'll give you some tips. Let's hit it. Folks, here we are. I'm showing you right here stuff that has sold in the last week and a half from this large lot that I bought. And here we have this, we ended up being a little over 1,100 pieces of costume jewelry, nicer stuff that was marked by a certain brand, by the manufacturer, things like that. We got some sets down here. Really gorgeous sets. We got some nice stuff. A lot of these necklaces had sterling silver clasps on them. Really good. I had it up to $3,750, which was a long shot. I did take a best offer for $2,500, and I'm okay with that. Here we had a bunch of military dog tags from individuals who were in World War II. I threw those up real quick, 60 bucks, took a best offer for $55 the next day. Here we have a bunch of these pocket watches that we came across. This silver one on the top is 800 silver instead of 925. It's not sterling silver. It's 800 out of 1,000 parts. But several of these others below, Elgin brand and a couple others you can see here, there was some damage. These were not necessarily in working condition, but several of them were gold filled, 14 karat gold filled. Took $455. Just wanted to blow these out real quick to get some of my money back. And here was the cream of the crop as far as the pocket watches were concerned. Some very nice old Waltham. It was an 1894 movement, which is not super, high end or anything, but this case was an 18 karat gold case, and it was etched here from father and mother, March 16th, 1920, and you can see it says Roy. 18K right there, 18 karat solid gold, $1,000 essentially for that. Here we have a really nice pendant that is made out of agate, or jasper, rather, I guess jasper, which is opaque. And this is what they call picture jasper. It's made this way, and whoever did the jewelry on this just found a particular spot of the stone and carved out around it to make it look in this way. To me, it kind of looks like, sort of like the edge of a shoreline with a lake and then a tree in the background and then the sky, which I thought was pretty awesome. Put that up for $80, sold it the next day, so I think that I had that price pretty well. And then finally here, just some scrap gold, a pendant, a couple of earrings that didn't have a mate, and then we got this gold, 10 karat gold wedding band that was missing the main stone in the center, but it had a couple of small diamonds, 5.8 grams, sold that real quick for $120. So right now, we spent $4,000 on this lot. We got $2,500, so $2,560. We're in the $3,000 range now at this point, $3,100. Now we're at $4,100, $4,180, $4,200, $4,300. So we're about $300 in a profit within the first, let's call it 10 days since we purchased the lot, and we got all this other stuff left. The strategy that I preach works for us this time, folks. That is to find the nicest, most valuable things that you think will sell the quickest for the most money out of a lot. Pull those out, list them quickly, get that money back. Now, within 2 weeks, all of my investment is back to me, so I don't have to worry or sweat anymore. All this other stuff I got now can sell, and I can wait it out and try to get the best price as opposed to having to sell it quickly now that I have my investment back. So now that I don't have to worry about that, I can go through, bag up these lots that I sold, and get on to the next stuff. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. What we're looking at here, folks, is all of this costume jewelry that I sold in this large lot. we're looking at somewhere between 30 to 35 pounds of really nice costume jewelry. And so I don't have the time, and it doesn't make sense to wrap every one of these individually. They're nice, but they're not that nice individually. So what I've done is I've taken and I've bagged up like pieces. So like bracelets will go in one, nice brooches in one, earrings in one, etc. And then what I'm going to do is I've taken as much of the air out of these as I could, and then I will wrap. I'm going to pull this up here so you can see it. I'm going to shrink wrap with a hand held thing these up so that they're nice and tight towards one another. The reason I do that is that in transit, I don't want them banging against each other and knocking stones out or damaging things. So so first thing is you bag them up. You get all the air out. You get them as tight as possible. Then you shrink wrap it. You make it even tighter. Everything's fitting together really nice, so there's not going to be a lot of movement. And then I'll wrap each of these with some wrapping like paper. I use stuff like this. You can get these in rolls for very cheap at places like Walmart, or you can buy them in large rolls in larger quantity for cheaper online. But anyhow, I'll wrap those up, and I'll heavily put some nice packing stuff, paper, other maybe bubble wrap stuff in a box, and then these all just kind of sit together. I want to get it nice and tight inside there because I don't want that movement, like I said. This should work out all right. I'm going to use UPS Ground because they have the best shipping rates for things of this size and specifically this weight. Cousins, what I'm up here doing now, up on this upper level here, is I've pulled out all of these that we've sorted, and everything that you're looking at here is an antique vintage jewelry, which is all considered gold-filled. What does gold-filled mean? Well, gold-filled means it has a particular plating or coating of gold over an other type of metallic alloy. You can see this one, these earrings here, the posts on those are 14 karat GF, which is gold-filled posts. So the posts that go through the ears have a gold plating on them. And in general, if you're looking for earrings and you see that the posts themselves are a gold color, you should examine those more closely because gold earrings oftentimes have gold posts. They don't have that surgical steel. Usually it's all the components of a gold earring are gold. Not always, but a lot of times. And so all of these things are either marked or we just have a really good indication based on the look of them that they are gold-filled based on our experience with stuff. And I would say that the number one thing that helps us identify something that's gold-filled when it's not marked is the color. And I'm going to try to give you an example here in just a moment. I'm going to pull out something that is newer, that is gold, and then show you something that's older, that's gold-filled, and let you kind of decide yourself. In general, the color has more of a copper or like kind of a darker color in it for gold-filled stuff that's older because they usually used about the same type of gold consistency. During that, like late 1800s, early 1900s. These are some bangle bracelets here, etched, that have gold fill. These are some stick pins that are beautiful, gold filled. Some of those are gold filled, not all of them. Some rings. What else do we got here? We got some pendants, some necklaces. This one's actually 14 karat gold. I'm going to do that separately. It's got a mark on it on side the clasp that says 585, which is the European hallmark for 14 karat. 750 is for 18 karat, and 585 is for 14 karat. Here are some various like cufflinks and stuff. Those would be a good example to show you something that is gold filled from yesteryear versus something that is not. Let's do that right now. So as I'm going to set these out, I'm going to show you how I prep things for photographing for selling things online and eBay. So what we have here is a variety of brooches and pins. These are all gold filled. And so what I want to do is I'm going to take them, I'm going to lay them all out kind of together. There's no particular rhyme or reason for exactly how I want to lay them out, except that I want them to be displayed as well as possible. And of course, I'm filming this from directly above, whereas I might actually, let's say, move and I might take photographs like from this angle or possibly up like that. And that's fine. But I want to just kind of show you. I will set these up. This is nice. It's gold filled and it's got little diamonds on the top of it. But I kind of set them up like this, in such a way, like this maybe. This one wants to go off to the side, so I might move. Well, I can't move it all the way back, can I? Maybe like that. I want the picture to be able to see the top of it, so I would do what I can to try to get that. Anyhow, I'd zoom up, and you want to get a shot of everything together in one frame like this. Boom. One shot. That's going to be your #1 picture that you have on display on Etsy or eBay or Facebook Marketplace or wherever it is that you're selling, if you're selling online. Then you're going to want to do the same photo, and I always just do them back to back. I'll do it first like I showed you with all of them up. Then I turn all of them around, and I do them back as well. They want to see the front, they want to see the back. Now, after I've got that, now if you're selling on eBay, for example, you got 12 photos unless you pay for something different, unless you pay for more photos or things like that. So in this particular case, I've got 7 items. I just took 2. So now I can take a close-up of each one of these. This by itself, that by itself, that by itself. So we got 7 here. I just took 2 others, so we got 9. We got 3 more pictures left. And so at that point, it doesn't really matter if you want to focus on a particular mark. Like, let's say, since these are gold filled, ones that say, 1/20th 12 karat GF or something, you can zoom in and take a picture of that. And that would be a perfect setup for a listing for this. That's exactly what I'm going to do with this one. Now, should I do this buy it now? Should I do this auction? It depends on your needs. Do you need to sell it quickly? Do you want to sell it for more money and be willing to wait? That's up to you. But I'm just giving you the general principles of how I set things up to photograph them for a listing such as this. Something else that oftentimes people would like to see, and so you should probably incorporate it whenever you're selling gold and silver, is to put the weight of it. What we have right here are some little pins. You can see that this one's an arrow, and it's got some Greek letters on it there. It also has information on the backside, who it is, information about their chapter of their Greek, group that they were in. And a little letter H, really cute. Here's another one from a different time period, 32, the number, and then this little hang tag here with initials. Anyhow, I'm going to photograph this in the way that I do it, the top, the back, close-ups of them, but I'm also going to set my little thing here on grams, my little my measurer, my weigher here, and I'm going to put these on here like this, like so. We're at 6.61 grams. Now, I say do this because it's very likely that someone's going to ask the question, well, how much does it weigh? And you're going to have to go back and do it. So you might as well just do this as a part of your practice while you're photographing things. People who will buy stuff for the scrap weight of the gold, who plan on getting it, melting it down, and taking the gold content, want to know the weight because they're going to compare that to the price per gram of gold. They're going to do their calculation, and they're going to try to offer you 20 to 30% less than the gold, scrap gold weight. And that's just what the scrappers do. I'm just letting you know. Hopefully you'll be able to sell it to somebody who collects these or cares about them for what they are. But oftentimes, if I'm out and I find things that are damaged, can't be repaired, or maybe it's, say, a cufflink and it's missing its pair, and so you can only sell one, sometimes it makes sense if things are damaged to just sell them as scrap for the silver or the gold. And in that case, this comes in handy. Otherwise, you're really looking for somebody who wants to buy this for what it is and not necessarily just because it has gold in it. Rusty's Hot Tips. I'll be beginning to sort through these in order to make small lots to list very soon. Over here we have cufflinks, various types. Sometimes they have stones in them, sometimes they do not. The way to look at cufflinks is as follows. Sometimes they can be made out of silver or gold and have gemstones in them, like any other type of jewelry. You're going to want to look at these areas. First of all, you want to look at the very back of it, this part, the very top part, not the part that connects onto your clothing, but this part. A lot of times the manufacturer name will be on there, or it can say if it's gold or silver. You can also look on this section, both on the back and also on the sides. So here you're going to want to rotate it around because it could be on one side or the other. All right on here. Also, it could be on this side that holds that. But oftentimes, and this is the unfortunate part, it is going to be marked on the inside of this part. Not on the outside, but on the inside. Isn't that difficult? Right here, or if you rotate it around, right there. Now, in this case, there are no markings at all on this particular one. But there are some that will have things. So in this case, this is kind of more like a button. It may have been originally a button, and then it was converted into being a cuff link. So on the back, we've got some information, as you can see. If you flip this part over, you're going to see that it says the patent pending. And then let's look on the inside here. Anything there? No. And no, I don't see anything. Nope. So this is, you know, copper and or brass. And it's an old button, so it might be worth something. This is a much newer. You can see how bright this is. This is not gold, but it's quite bright in color. This is one indication that this is a newer piece and not an older one. Older ones are much more of like a, let's see here, like an older coppery color. Let's see. Here we go. Now, I don't know. The light in here is not great for this comparison. In fact, they look fairly similar. I don't know if you can tell, but this one's got more of a kind of a darker orangish coppery tone, whereas this is a much brighter kind of a yellow color. The light in here is not perfect for this comparison, but that's one of the ways I can tell. Like that one right there is gold filled, whereas this is not. Okay, so if I'm looking around, again, we're going to look on either side of that. No, nothing. Nothing in here. And then if I flip her around, we're going to look inside there. Nope. And again, and nothing. So sometimes they're not going to have anything at all. Sometimes they're going to say who made them, like Swank, Hickok. What are some others? I'm trying to think of some other names. Anson. Okay, so here's an example. So look at this, Swank Inc. All right, so we're going to look on here, nothing. I'm going to prop her open. Now, because it says Swank on the back, it may not say anything on the inside. Oh, there. Do you see that on here? It says Swank again. It's difficult to see. S-W-A-N-K. Swank. Now, does it say anything on this side? No. So this is not going to have any gold in it. Virgo. Look at that. Here's another piece. Looking on the inside, nothing. Inside, nothing. All right. Here's another one. Oh, Godzilla. That's fun. Get nothing on the back there. This looks like it might be made of silver based on the tarnish in here, or at least silver plated. Do we see anything inside? Nope. Anything on that side? Nope. Well, I'm kind of coming up. Well, this kind of gives you a good example, folks, of how often is it going to have something in there for you, and how often is it not? Trying to find something that we can actually see. Here's an example of one, J. You can see again on the outside here. What does this say? Patent pending again. Nothing on there. Nothing inside there. Here's an example of ones I think are sterling silver or have some kind of a coating. You see they're a different setup. This is definitely older based on the way that they're made. You got this black in the center. You got a white enamel and black. It's very Art Deco looking. I'm not seeing anything on that side. Oh, here we go. Look at this. And what you got is the patent number for this particular type of swivel. And this is, what does that say? GR. Interesting. Those are very cool. I wonder if any of these others in here that I might just randomly pull out are going to have anything. Ooh, these are beautiful. Look at those. Nice. Nothing inside. Nothing on that. And here around, if I flip her around, nope. But a really cool etching. And so, folks, I think you get the idea here. That's how you examine and try to find out if there's anything you need to know about who made them, and or if they've got anything. Oh, here's an example. Do you see on the inside there? G-I-L-T, Gilt. Gilt is the brand name that made these. A different type of shape there. But see, you wouldn't know that if you didn't know to look inside of that. All right, so same thing applies to things like these tie bars. You're going to look on the back. This is Crements. Crements. Do you see that? USA. And then if you flip her over, you're looking around. Sometimes on the back of these, they'll say if they're gold or gold filled. They don't have to say it in order to have gold content, but it's certainly nice if they do, because then you're made aware. On the top here, patent, the patent number again for this particular type of clip. This would be something that you'd attach. You could attach handkerchiefs to, or scarf clips, things like this. These were popular back in the day. Not as much anymore. Let's see, a couple more examples here of these tie bars. This is a beautiful one. Got the initials, nice kind of cobalt blue there. Rolling around. Here's the back. Anson right there by my thumbnail. That's the name of the company. And then look at that. It's cool. T with a kind of a fake mother of pearl. I'm looking around the sides. I'm not seeing any indications, numbers, or anything. Same thing over here. What we have is these these are like little pins, push pin things to hold ties together and such. There are other uses for these too, but we've got a variety of those. Got the tie bars, got the cufflinks, and then over here are a variety of like little brooches, pins and such. This is cool. Look at this. It looks like a sword and a scabbard. Rolling around. I'm not seeing any names of anybody that made this particular piece, but it's very cool. The color, the shape, all of that. Here's one that's definitely etched pretty nicely on the inside of this. You can see right here it says Napier. Napier, which is a costume jewelry brand. This is a beautiful one, Art Nouveau style. As you can see, this woman, very typical of almost like an Alphonse Mucha type of art. Beautiful thing. It's definitely a newer piece, and you can tell by the way that this part is glued on in the back. And then a newer piece here. I say newer. It's not terribly new based on this clasp here, but it has that enamel paint on the top of it here. This is a Tanzania National Parks. Look at that. And then some other little tiny smaller ones here. Oh, I got that one right there. I had another one I was trying to reach in and grab. You'll find some of these oftentimes that are from like Lions Club or different types of clubs. And unfortunately, this little screw part here has been bent down. But you can see on the back here, it says the manufacturer Morgan's, and it says a patent office on the bottom there. This is from the Girl Scouts right there. And here's a beautiful one that's Canada. Look at that gilt. All that. Looking at the back, I'm not seeing anything written on that. And, you know, sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. It won't always. Here's one where you can see right here, it's the profile of someone. And then underneath of this clasp here, there is a writing. What does this say? If we can see. Can't quite tell. Let's see if we can. All right. Do we see what it says here? Of course, she's upside down. Gibson something? I still can't see it. But it's got the company. And so you can tell that's the point here is that that's what you do. You look down at the back of it specifically, and that is how you'll know. kind of whether or not it has gold, silver, where it's made at. And that also helps you when you're listing stuff. So things from similar company, like I might make a lot of Anson stuff. I might make a lot of stuff by, you know, Swank or Hickok or what have you. All right. Up next, I'm going to go through this. All of this nice higher end costume jewelry. Going to lay it out, take photos, get this up and listed. We got a variety of things in here from higher end brands like Miriam Haskell. We've got Givenchy here. We've got some Crown Trifari stuff, some Coro, some Weiss, Swarovski, crystal stuff in here. A variety of really nice pieces. Some are not marked, but are quite nice. And then some other brands, you know, that I'm not as familiar. We got Vendôme. I'm not sure exactly how that's pronounced. This one is not marked, but it has all of the indications that this was a company called Mazer, M-A-Z-E-R. It's beautiful emerald green color here. Beautiful stuff, folks. I'm excited to get this out in the eBay store. Well, cousins, I'm going to get back to it here. Got a lot more to list today. Be looking out in the next couple of weeks. We're going to hit pocket knives, watches, other types of jewelry, talk about silver and gold, and much more. We'll see you soon. Rusty hair